Hello and welcome. In this video, we'll show you how to convert a Vortex Shaft Mount Reducer into a screw conveyor drive. Before you start, take a moment to confirm you have all the components, tools, and safety gear required for this installation. You'll need a Vortex Shaft Mount Reducer, a screw conveyor flange, a screw conveyor drive shaft, and either a standard wedge or a removal wedge. Additionally, you'll need a few common tools like snap ring pliers and a torque wrench. We also advise wearing gloves during installation. Pliers may be preferred for some steps. Now that we have everything in place, let's begin the assembly process. Start by removing the snap rings and collars from both sides of the output hub. These components are not needed for screw conveyor setups, but can be saved for future reinstallation if desired. Next, position the screw conveyor flange so that the bolt holes on the smaller end of the adapter align perfectly with the threaded bolt holes of the reducer. Install the bolts provided in the screw conveyor flange kit. Make sure to tighten them according to the specified torque values. The specified values can be found in the PDF that is linked in the description of this video. With the flange now mounted to the reducer, let's install the drive shaft. Slide the keyed end of the screw conveyor shaft into the flange. Exercise caution to avoid damaging the oil seals or seal pack within the flange. Sharp edges can harm the seals. If the drive shaft is difficult to fully insert, avoid hammering or using force. Rotate the hollow output shaft to get the shaft to align and seat. Once the screw conveyor shaft is fully inserted, we're ready to install a wedge. When installing wedges, avoid using an anti-seize compound. It can create undesirable pressures and even crack reducer components. If you don't plan to remove the shaft, insert the standard wedge into the space between the hollow bore and the screw conveyor shaft. Position the wedge with the smaller end of the taper facing into the reducer. Slide the retaining bolt through the lock washer and keeper plate, then tighten it into the end of the drive shaft. This will drive the wedge into the hollow bore of the reducer and clamp the shaft in place. For the recommended torque value, refer to the PDF that is linked in the description of this video. Remember, if you wish to remove the screw conveyor drive shaft and components from your reducer in the future, a removal wedge should be purchased and installed in place of the standard wedge. When starting the assembly process, be aware that your removal wedge kit includes a larger removal bolt. This bolt will be essential during disassembly, so store it securely for future use. To enable future shaft removal, insert the screw conveyor removal wedge into the opposite end of the gearbox, in the space between the hollow bore and the screw conveyor shaft. The wedge includes a snap ring installed inside the bore. Position the wedge with the smaller end of the taper facing into the reducer. With the wedge in place, slide the retaining bolt through the lock washer and threaded keeper plate. You may notice that the keeper plate has been drilled and tapped off-center. This is an intentional design that will aid in the later removal of the wedge. We'll cover this in more detail in the disassembly section of this video. Tighten the bolt securely into the end of the drive shaft. This will drive the wedge into the hollow bore of the reducer and clamp the shaft in place. To determine the recommended torque value for tightening, refer to the PDF that is linked in the description of this video. Congratulations! Your reducer is now ready to be attached to your screw conveyor assembly. For proper installation, follow the directions provided by the screw conveyor manufacturer. In this next section, we'll cover how to use the screw conveyor removal wedge, allowing you to easily remove the shaft from your reducer when needed. Follow these next steps carefully to ensure proper removal. Remove the keeper bolt, lock washer, and threaded keeper plate from the drive shaft. Using snap ring pliers, carefully remove the snap ring from the removal wedge. Place the threaded keeper plate inside the removal wedge and reinstall the snap ring. Retrieve the larger removal bolt from safe storage and thread the bolt into the keeper plate threads and begin tightening. Because the keeper plate is tapped off-center, it will bind against the bore of the wedge. Instead of letting the plate spin freely, this cramming action will allow the bolt to progress through the threads. As the large bolt pushes against the drive shaft, the wedge will dislodge from the reducer. Gently pull the drive shaft out of the reducer and flange. The key between the shaft and hub may also come loose. Exercise caution to avoid damaging the oil seals or seal pack within the flange. Sharp edges can harm the seals. Loosen the bolts connecting the small end of the conveyor flange to the reducer. Remove the flange and bolts. If desired, you can replace the original snap rings and collars on both sides of the output hub. Congratulations! You've successfully removed the screw conveyor components from your reducer. Remember to follow safety guidelines and equipment manufacturer instructions for optimal performance. Thanks for watching. For technical resources, specs, and support, Visit vortexreducer.com or bartgroup.com.